Hello listeners, if you've enjoyed these narrations, please click on that like and subscribe button. I was always enamored with the idea of living in a house with an attic. I don't know why or how, or if I just wanted to be different than all the people with a basement, but having an attic was always one of my wishes. I wanted to turn my attic into a bedroom, which is why I precisely wanted a window attic. This may seem like a useless information now, just remember it for later. One day, while I could hear shouting from my dear parents, the same ones that claimed I was the reason their marriage was ruined, I was scrolling through house listing. Now don't get me wrong, I was 27 with a pretty big sum of money in my bank account and a degree in IT, so I was young and roping in a lot of money, enough to buy a house. You may be wondering, well then why are you a fully grown man staying with his parents? The answer to that is simple. I had to collect a lot of money after I got my degree, and I figured renting would only waste some of that money. Now that I have finally collected enough money, I was trying to find a house. Out of nowhere, the perfect listing had came up. It was even more than perfect. It was breathtakingly beautiful. My eyes peered over the picture providing in the listing. It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house that featured a beautiful kitchen with marble appliances, a tall ceiling living room, and a beautiful backyard with a small pool. Although all of that was beautiful, the 2 floors didn't interest me as much as what stood on top of them. The attic was the perfect space I was looking for. It not only met, but exceeded my expectations. It had beige walls and a beautiful mahogany floor. But the window is what really caught my attention. It had beautiful glass art that was filtering in different kinds of light onto the very cozy looking window seat attached to it, as well as part of the floor. I held my breath as I went to check the price, hoping I wasn't out of my budget. I felt confused as I saw the price was $500,000. Now $500,000 isn't that much out of the usual for a house in a less grand area, but the house was located in a very pristine neighborhood, so it made no sense. Immediately, I had called my agent up, ecstatic with the price as it had been a third of my actual budget. She agreed and told me we could go and see it right away, as it was in the middle of a work day for her, and well, that was work for her, no? I got in my car and immediately went to the location. As I pulled up next to the vehicle, which I assumed was the agent's, that was parked in front of the house, I let myself become enamored with the beauty of the house in person. It was even better than the listing. The agent took me inside. She was really pleasant and nice, explaining every detail of the house, like for example that it came unfurnished. I bought the house on the spot, no matter the fact that I had an unsettling feeling, or that she didn't actually show me the attic. And after a few weeks of buying furniture and putting the boxes in the house, I was finally ready to move in and unbox everything. The first destination obviously being the attic. As I used the key to unlock the door to the attic, I had a double take. As I looked inside, the attic was fully furnished. In that moment, I had thought back to the words of the agent, and I remembered her explicitly telling me that the whole house was not furnished. It was pretty weird, and the growing of the unsettling feeling didn't help at all. As I walked inside and took a look around, the walls and floor were exactly as they were in the picture. The window, however, was slightly ajar, and something about the color was off, although the pattern remained the same. In the middle of the attic was a big king bed with red silk sheets and 4 bedposts that held up a sheer canopy over the top. The wood looked old and worn, but the bed was beautiful. There was an old dresser matching the wood of the bed attached directly to the middle of the left wall, while on the right wall there was a chest of drawers, the wood again matching with the one of the old television that required cassettes, since the antennas looked quite worn out and unused. And directly in front of the bed, on the wall, right next to the door, stood a big floor-length mirror with a little engraving that spelled ledger on the top. I had always disliked mirrors in front of the bed, the superstitious bullcrap my mother had burnt into my brain, never leaving my life. I went to the chest of drawers looking around, and on the back of the television, a neatly folded envelope fell to the floor in the midst of my searching. I bent down to get it, curiosity getting the best of me. I took the dusty envelope and sat on the window seat. I pondered quickly on my morals, opening something that did not belong to me, and then remembered that whoever's this was, they left it behind and this was my property now. It would take way too long to explain what it said, so I'm just going to mimeograph it. Dear reader, if you're reading this letter, it is better for you to listen to me and follow the instructions. It is very critical for me to point out that I am not being silly or joking at all. This is a serious letter. My name is Asher. As I'm writing this letter, I realize it is far too late for me, but I might be able to save you. This house is not normal. I had thought so too when I saw the listing, the steep price alluring me even more. But I should have followed my instinct, and right now, you're probably thinking you should have done the same. These are the specific set of rules you need to follow if you want to live peacefully. Fail to do so, and your only two options are leaving and death, the latter more likely. Remember, the rules with just numbers are to be followed no matter the consequence. The rules with uppercase letters next to the number are important, but never to pick them over the previous in the state of emergency. And the rules with lowercase letters in front of the numbers are lies. Rule 1. The pool in the backyard isn't accessible on Friday between the hours of 6 and 10 p.m. Afterwards, you can only use the pool after you've been sure to color the water is blue. Otherwise, go inside and lock yourself in the second floor bathroom. Do not come out under any circumstance until 12 a.m. Make sure you check the water of the pool at exactly 10:01, unless you're in the bathroom or the bedroom at the given time. Rule 1A. Cover all of the mirrors. They attract negative things. You don't want to have negativity, do you? Rule 1A. Absolutely avoid the sounds in the pool on Friday between the same hours mentioned before. Do not go out to check. Do not look. Act as if everything is normal. No matter what sounds you may hear, do not check until 10:01. If you do the opposite, even by mistake, refer to Rule 7. Rule 2. At exactly midnight, go to the bedroom and lock yourself in. No matter what you're doing, remember to follow this step. Rule 3. Avoid having guests over. It's always tricky, and they never follow the rules. You don't want to be part of someone that means something to you, just because they were stupid enough not to follow the rules. Rule 3A. Open the front door at exactly 3 a.m. Rule 4. Never go anywhere near the front of the house or outside of your room after midnight, unless you need to go to the bathroom, and the bathroom only. Then you can proceed to the bathroom, but make sure you only go for exactly 15 minutes. Anything more and you won't like the consequences. Rule 4A. If she has caught you, refer to Rule 7. Rule 5. On Fridays, never roam next to the windows that look out at the pool between the hours of 6 to 10 p.m. Otherwise, turn around, and no matter what you have seen, pray even if you aren't religious, for at least 5 minutes. If by that time you're done, and you hear 3 taps on the glass of the previously mentioned window, refer to Rule 7. If not, you're free. Don't look back, and go to the second floor bathroom and lock yourself in. Rule 5A. All of the rules are only for Fridays. Other days, you're safe. Rule 6. Do not go into the attic. If you do, check the color of the window art. If it's a different color from the listing, you're safe. If it's not, refer to Rule 7. The attic is off limits because it's where she sleeps. If you don't see her, it's because you were safe. Rule 7A. If you had to refer to this rule, it's already too late. Take the revolver and shoot yourself straight in the head. Otherwise, you're going to face a much more gruesome fate. Rule 7. If you had to refer to this rule, there's only one more option left. Take the revolver in your hand. No matter where you are, if she has you, it will appear in your hand. Shoot her straight in the heart. If she disappears, congratulations, you survived. However, if she does not, your fate is a far painful death. Rule 8. If you look in the mirror in the attic, bad luck will follow you for exactly 4 hours. Those are all the rules. I have no time left, so I'm leaving this letter on the kitchen counter. If you find it anywhere else, run as far as you can. Leave everything behind and run. Good luck, Asher. My eyes burnt with tears as I read the letter, realizing I would rather be safe than sorry. I did what the letter told me and ran as fast as I could. While I was on the stairs, I felt something grab me. I couldn't move. Paralyzed with fear, I looked up to see a woman with disheveled long blonde hair covered in red stain marks. Her throat was a deep purple, indicating she had suffocated. Her whole body drenched as it latched onto me with an ungodly strength. I felt something in my hand and looked down as a revolver appeared in it. With my best prayers, I put the gun to my head and remembered something. Asher had written to not trust the lowercase letters. So I turned and shot the woman in the heart, and to my luck she disappeared. I took off and ran as far as I could, regretting buying that house. As I called the police and explained the situation, they told me that I shouldn't waste their time with stupid paranormal, and hung up. I called my agent and explained. She came right away. As she looked at me, her face was unreadable. She just handed me a folder and drove off. As I opened the folder up, alone in the middle of the street, night, I felt taken aback. The folder contained past occupants of the house, as well as its history. What I didn't expect to find was multiple murder cases attached to the documents in the folder. As I read over them, an unsolved case, the name shocked me. Written at the top of the page next to the picture of a young woman stood the name Asher Black. I felt goosebumps rise to my skin as I flipped to the other document and immediately recognized the picture. There stood a printed picture of a woman with blonde hair I didn't recognize at first, but as I looked over the picture of the autopsy, I had realized it. On the page stood a first-degree murder with a picture of a woman with blonde hair with purple marks on her neck. The description was as followed. Jane Ledger, 35, was found at 10:01 in the pool of the backyard of the Ledger household, drowned to death. Her abuser and husband was found dead on the stairs of the house with a revolver in his hand. My blood ran cold as I pieced all of the pieces together, and I was standing on the side of the road. I was too focused on the document that I didn't realize a car was coming right at me, until my world went black. Thank you for listening to another story from the Sanguinis Compendium. If you enjoyed, give that like and subscribe button a click, and ring that bell to hear more stories daily.